Hello and welcome to Candice Lynn TV. In this video, I'm going to show you how I designed and assembled this fruit snap pack using Cricut Design Space. And I did do my design on my iPhone, so very easy. So first I'm going to start by getting the images that I want to use. I get all of my images from Pinterest. You can use whatever you would like or whatever you're comfortable with. So I already have a board with party favors and different themes. You can make any theme and any design that you want basically using this same template that I'm going to show you in a few minutes. So I'm going to just make a simple Paw Patrol design. This is just some ideas and some images I could use. I have some where they're individual dogs. I have some backgrounds here, just simple things. And to make it very simple, I'm going to use something that's basically already put together instead of trying to make my own image with multiple images combined. I'm just going to use this one. So I'll click the little dots, download the image, and it's going to save that image to my photos. And I'm going to show you again how to save the image from Pinterest. So for a background, I'm going to use this one. Click the little three dots at the top at the right. This will pop up and then you will click download image. Once that image is downloaded, it's going to be in your photos. So from this point, I do have to go in and screenshot my photos because for some reason, sometimes Cricut Design Space will not let you use those photos. So once it's saved in my photos, I will go through and just screenshot those images so that I can use them in Cricut Design Space. Once they're screenshots, I will go in and I will edit them just so I can get rid of all that extra space and everything that I don't need on my pictures. So that's what I'm doing here, is just removing all of that excess that is part of the screenshot. So I just now have my background and I'm going to do the same thing to this image here. Just get rid of the unwanted area that I do not need by simply cropping it out. Once that is done, I can now go into Cricut Design Space to make my design. And I'm doing a very simple and basic design. You can add so much more to this design. You can do any theme, any occasion, any situation, whatever you want to do. But I'm going to start off by showing you the template. So with the template, I'm going to click on the shapes and I'm going to choose a rectangle. You can also choose a square. It just does not need to have those rounded corners. They need to be sharp corners. Once I do that, I am going to go to edit and I'm going to be adjusting the size. So the size for the entire wrapper is going to be 6.5 by 4. So this is your entire wrapper. Once you have that shape, you can go in and add another rectangle. And you'll just follow the same process by clicking on the shape, choose your rectangle. You could have also just duplicated the one that you have on the screen, but I'm just going in and getting another one. And this one's size needs to be 3 by 4. So the entire rectangle that we did first is 6.5 by 4. And then that small one is going to be 3 by 4. And the small one's going to represent what you're going to see on the front of the wrapper. And then the two on the side is going to represent the back. So I like to just put the measurements back up here so you can see them. 6.5 by 4 for the entire thing, and then 3 by 4 for that small one in the front. Then I'm going to highlight both as they're layered and go to edit and go to align. And I'm going to center it horizontally and vertically so that they're proportional and in the correct placement. You don't want the middle of your fruit snack wrapper to be too far to the left or too far to the right. So now that I've done that, I'm going to select everything on the screen, and then actions will come up and I will click group. Now that it's grouped, this whole section will move together as one, and you don't have to worry about it becoming unaligned or out of space or just wrong. So once it's grouped, it's put together, and basically that's your template. So that middle section is going to be the front, and then the two sections on the sides are going to be what is going to be seen on the back. So the front, you can start designing, put whatever theme you want that area. You can put font, you can put text, whatever you want. I'm going to start by clicking on upload and select from photo library because that's where my photos are. So this is what I have. I'm going to start by clicking on my background, which is the one with the paw prints. Now that I have that, no, Cricut, I'm not paying. I think I can remove the background, or at least try to. You're going to see that I'm going to struggle or have to use a different app in a few, but I'll tell you why. So for this, I'm going to click next 2 times, and this screen is going to come up. And make sure, this is very important, that you click on print then cut, because if you don't, it's not going to work. You need to be printing this image, so it's not going to be a cut file, it's going to be a print file. So then you're going to name it and click next, and now you have your background up. And to make it easier, just go ahead and resize that middle part as a 3x4, and it's going to be the same size as that middle section that you made earlier. So you'll do 3x4, and make sure that you click the little unlock or the lock in between, so it stops it from being proportional, and you can just make it 3x4. And to make sure that I'm aligning this correctly, I'm just going to highlight everything again, and then I'm going to go to edit. And once I'm in edit, I'm going to go over to align, and I'm going to center it horizontally and vertically. So now that that is done, this is what it looks like. And just because I'm going to change the color of the back, I'm going to click on that whole image, and then you'll go to edit, and click that first section to change the color. So I'm going to change it to print then cut first. Everything needs to be print then cut, and then I'm going to change the color. Just pick whatever color you want to use for your design, and that's what we have. So that part that you see that's purple, you can do a lot with that. You can put nutritional facts, you can say thanks for coming, but this is going to be just a very basic tutorial. Now for this part, I was not able to get rid of all of that background without losing some of the puppies in Cricut Design Space, so I went to eraser, and I'm going to click on the background and remove that background. So whatever app you have that you're comfortable with, just use what you want to remove the background. So in this case, it did the same thing that Cricut Design Space, but I can see it more here, so that's why I'm using eraser. It makes it bigger on my screen, and I'm just more comfortable with eraser compared to using Cricut Design Space for this part. So I'm using the feature where I can restore the image, and basically the parts that were white on the puppies, I'm just adding that back and going around with this tool to make sure that you can still see everything that was once white, because for some reason when you click on that background, since it's white, it takes away a lot of the things of the image that I still need. So I'm just going to restore that, and then I can save this in my images or in my photos so that I can use it in Cricut Design Space. And this is just me cleaning up the areas that looked weird to me. Don't worry, I'm going to go back in and make sure those puppies still have all of their little paws. So this is me just making sure that everything is there, and it's just going to create an outline around the dogs. This step might not need to be done depending on what image you're using, but for me, I thought it looked better. So I'm going to save this into my photos, and once I do that, I can go back into Cricut Design Space, and I'm going to upload, select from photo library, and this is my image. It's showing me that it's already a PNG. I don't have to erase anything, and then I'm going to click next or apply. It's next or apply. I remember before it used to be next. So here, make sure you do the print then cut, name it whatever you want to name it, and then upload, and there it is on the screen. So now I just need to resize it so that it fits in that middle section, which is going to be the front of my wrapper. And I'm going to select everything and make sure that this gets grouped if you need to have it grouped. And I'm going to center it horizontally and vertically. Now that everything is where I want it to be, I'm just going to make it bigger so you can see it. And the next step would be click make it. Or I'm going to duplicate it because you can put 2 of these wrappers on the same page to be printed. but being that I'm only making one, we don't have to worry about that. So on this next screen, after I click make it, this is what it looks like when you're going to print two. But I'm going to click on that second one and hide it because I only need one. My printer's almost out of ink, so yeah, we're just going to make one. So let's go ahead and hide that object because like I said, we only need one for this video. And then I'm going to click next. Now, usually you'll be able to pick your Cricut here. Mine was not on, and then when I turned mine on, it told me I needed to calibrate it because it's been off for so long. So if this is your first time doing a print then cut, I do have a video up that I'm going to post, or is already posted, showing you how to calibrate your printer with your print then cut function, because for some reason it made me do it. So I couldn't just click not now, but like I said, that video should already be up, and it's going to give you a step-by-step process. So now that I have calibrated in the video you've already watched, I'm going to click next, and this screen should come up, and it's going to let you know exactly how you'll be printing it. And in the bottom corner on the right, you can click print. You can see I have a little cheap printer, and I'm low on ink as always, but no matter what, I'm going to put it to the best quality for my printer, and then I'm going to click print. And I'm not going to use the Cricut to cut up my design. You can use it if you're making multiple, but I'm only going to make one. So once it is printed out from my machine, I'm going to use these items to assemble to put it together. So I'm going to start by cutting out my design. Very simple, following my design. Just cut it out. So once I have it cut out, my next thing will be to put some well, let's just wait. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to place my design on the design down, and this is the way I like to fold my fruit snacks inside of my wrapper. I'm going to fold it down and then put the double-sided tape in the center so that it does not move. Once I do that, I'm also going to put a piece of double-sided tape on one of the sides so that does not move. Once you do this a couple times, the first couple times it feels a little awkward. It feels like you're tugging at the paper, but it's okay. Just put a thin line of hot glue, and then you'll be able to close that back side together. Try not to put too much, because if you put too much, like me, you're gonna burn your fingers. Burned every single last one of them, even the ones that wasn't even touching the glue. Don't know how. So I'm going to put some at the top. You can do the top or the bottom. This part does not have to be perfect because we're going to use some scissors to give it the fruit snack appearance, where it's like the little, you'll see what I'm talking about when I use the, well, you're not even going to be able to see it. Anyway, I'm going to use some scissors that are going to cut a little design on the edge, and it wouldn't be my video if I just did something off camera and thought I was doing it on camera. So I used some scissors to cut those jagged lines at the top and bottom to make it look more realistic. This was done with regular computer paper and a printer that's almost out of ink.